So I'm joining you today to announce a series of packages that will see Victoria's $1.7 billion live music industry be COVID ready and COVID safe to come back when restrictions allow. Victoria, and indeed Melbourne, has the highest number of live music venues per capita anywhere in the world, and that underpins the whole rich ecology of our contemporary live music sector and the tens of thousands of jobs and the thousands of creative musicians that it sustains. But of course, it was one of the areas first and hardest hit, and under the roadmap to recovery will be amongst the last of amongst all the creative sectors to be able to return to a COVID-safe and COVID-normal operation. So making sure that the venues, making sure that the whole ecology of the workforce, particularly the creatives, and indeed protecting those venues is what we're here to announce today. So a $13 million package is being rolled out today that will see hope and recovery at the heart of our contemporary music system. 106 live music venues in an initial tranche will receive support to keep their businesses going, from very small venues to venues of over 1,000 people. These are, as Paul Kelly has described it, this is where the universities, this is where the training for our music system and our music ecology happens. So to keep those venues going through this $9.6 million allocation until their COVID plans can be applied and until their safe reopening can go ahead is at the heart of this package. In addition to that, we're also announcing a series of measures to actually protect those venues, which the industry has made very clear is a priority during this shutdown. The state planning scheme will be amended to make sure that the value, socially, economically and culturally, of live music precincts will be reflected in the state's planning scheme, and we will be strongly encouraging all local government areas to move quickly once that amendment has happened to protect not just iconic local venues, but live music precincts wherever they might be right across the state. We want to make sure that in this COVID shutdown period that venues are not at risk and that councils are given the tools to make sure that live music venues can keep pumping out rock and roll and keep pumping out music for many years to come. And then finally, there's also a $3 million package for support to a whole range, further supports for a whole range of musicians, of festivals associations, of peak bodies, of care crews as a part of the Support Act, support to make sure that the well-being of the whole set of workforce that goes with our live music industry is protected, and that is also looked after, to making sure that not only do we have the venues, the planning schemes, but we have the creatives ready to go, the whole workforce ready to go when the COVID-safe plans allow. And the last part of the announcements today is to also roll out our annual Pride events schedule and encourage, as of this week, applications for our LGBTIQ community to take forward Pride events right across the state, both online and in a COVID-safe way, so that the rich diversity of the Victorian community can be celebrated and reflected. So putting all that together, that's a $13 million package that brings to some $90 million worth of new funding that the Victorian government has allocated over the course of the pandemic to make sure that our reputation as the creative beating heart of the Victorian and Australian cultural economy continues. And I look very much forward to the day in which we can all go back to live music venues, but until such time as that is safe to do so, to make sure that we are as well positioned as we possibly can to rightly claim and sustain our position as the